Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first Flip staff meeting of the year. I know it's exciting. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first Flip staff meeting of the school year. We will be meeting face-to-face on Tuesday, November 5th at 7:30 in the morning in the library for a face-to-face staff meeting. In the meantime, I wanted to send out this video link so that I could give you as much information as possible and give you time to come up with any questions or thoughts that you may have. The next slide here is a message that I have been putting in our newsletters for about the last month. It really speaks to me and our Rehoboth Elementary tribe. I think we all feel it. It's been a busy start of the school year. We've had some traumatic things happen to members of our Rehoboth Elementary family, and we are stronger than ever and find support from one another. And that is noticed and is a wonderful thing to see. So just know that I'm appreciative every day of everything that you guys do, from the little things to the big things. It's all appreciated. Thank you. All right, our district promise. Don't forget to fill out a CAPE promise card. Students, staff, families, and community members can share their promise. I am looking for some creative souls to help me with a display. We would like to display all of the promises in our main hallway. See me if you are interested. Continuous improvement mode. This is a place we always will be in continuous improvement mode. We are doing and have done really great things at Rehoboth. We are at the top of our game. But with that, we can't slow down and we can't stop defining how we are going to be even better. It comes down to data and data-based decision making. We have been, as a district and as individual schools, really been looking closely at our performance. This slide is just demographic data from each of the schools in our school district, and we will look at these more closely in PLCs and possibly staff meetings or school improvement team meetings. But I want you to have the same information that I have when it comes to reviewing how we are doing. This data, these two tables show our students in ELA and math, those who received a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, and like we've been talking about all year, we really want to make sure that we are looking at those students who are at an emergency status. At the same time, we want to look at those students that can be moved forward from a 2 to a 3 or a 3 to a 4 or from a 4 to an even higher 4. When I dive into this data table, I can look at the names behind the numbers, which is really pretty cool. We can get really specific when it comes to the discussion around what we are going to do to decrease the achievement gap. We as a district have our biggest gap is between our white students and our African American students. Our white students are performing well above the state average, while our African American students are well below the state average. So we are going to be asking ourselves tough questions and we'll be doing some hard work around decreasing the achievement gap. And I know that we can do it. We are looking at and need to be able to ask one another, what is your power move? What are you doing to help a student who has behavioral needs or academic needs? There are some general things that we're doing as a staff. We have our weekly coaching PLCs, which really is valuable time. This should be looked at as time that you really can't do without. This is where you can ask questions, where we can plan, where Angie and Jill really try to package things that make the curriculum sometimes more accessible for teachers, because we know you're overwhelmed. We know that you are juggling lots of content, lots of materials, and PLCs are ways for us to help one another unpack and prepare and plan. We also have our PDSA cycle, which has launched K to 3 in writing, 4 and 5 in math. I believe that our coaching initiative, along with our push-in supports, our intentional lesson planning, intentional intervention planning, and our PDSA journey is what is going to push us and our students even further. We give students partners and work buddies all the time during the school day to help one another with assignments, activities, lessons, whatever it might be. Don't forget to do that for yourselves. We need to work together to make all of these things happen. We need to really look at the collaborative learning experience as a high leverage move in supporting our kids and their learning and growth. Collaboration works. We see it with our students. We need to live it with one another. More to come on all of that. I'm really just scratching the surface. Okay, here are a few things that we need to talk about. Personal days. Remember that Jenny Nauman only needs to approve a personal day if you are requesting that on a professional development day. She does not need to approve sick days. You don't have to send her an email if you need to take a sick day on a professional development day, just a personal day. Personal days will not be approved for February 14th. We have a spectacular speaker coming in, and personal days will not be approved for that day. Welcoming schools. First, thank you so much for a Friday afternoon professional development experience. After lots of conferencing and a full week, it's hard to sometimes sit and get on a Friday afternoon, but it was a great training. We will debrief on November 5th with one another, but in the meantime, if you could start addressing in lesson plans or for guests that are in your rooms that we are a district or we are a school that is committed to not organizing children by gender. We don't line up by boys and girls, etc. You could also make note that we call students whatever they prefer to be called, even if it is not on the roster. These are just some small but important steps to make in our inclusive efforts. Field trips. Field trips have the same guidelines as last year. 3 to 5 field trips must be between the $15 and $25 price point. There is financial support from Chef, from Rehoboth, our budget, and from the PTO. If you could remember to please note on the permission slips that there are no refunds. That would be important. We need to let parents know that in advance. And if you could mention that any family is welcome to contribute toward the trip for a classmate. It's not required, but that is something nice if families want to be able to do that. We have a statement that you can put at the bottom of your permission slips. Health curriculum. We haven't talked about this much, but you need to know we have a new health curriculum, Healthy Smart, I believe it's called, or Health Smart. There will be more information to come. Kim Corbage is looking at all of the curriculum and really seeing what overlaps with things that we are already doing, especially with Second Step. And Mr. Lance is responsible for several of the units. So it's a collective effort. We're all going to pitch in to make it happen for everyone. The Leader in Me. We have the books, we talk about it, we're going to really start diving in. On November 19th, there is a tentative plan to have a virtual meeting with our Leader in Me coach, Tiffany. And then on January 24th, which is a professional development day, we are hoping to have a full day 7 Habits training. So just keep the books, keep looking through them, work on the lessons with our kids, and the habits. Hopefully you've looked at 1 or 2 of the habits up until this point of the school year. Lesson plans and walkthroughs. Thank you so much for welcoming so many different people into your classrooms. I know it's not always easy. And you feel the pressure, but know that we see so many wonderful things happening. I love being able to walk in the room, and I've had many teachers say, oh, my lesson plans are right here. And then I can just kind of take a look and I can see the evidence of differentiation. I can see conference schedules. I can see where win time is intentionally planned. It's really nice to see, and I really do love it when you guys point it out, because sometimes we might miss things. Behavior, this is an ongoing conversation. We're going to talk about it much more on November 5th. I just want to make sure we were at a trauma training today, and in talking with everyone, um, we get so bogged down with so many things. I just want you to remember to have fun with your students, build relationships with your students, make your classroom the place that your students want to be each and every day. So create activities, privileges, jobs, um, special things that might happen throughout the week that entice students to continue to make good choices. When you make good choices, good things happen. And when you create an environment like that and the momentum really gets going, those natural, logical consequences come a little bit, are a little bit easier when the stage is set. So make every minute count like you are, but have fun doing it. Um, there's nothing better than leaving school for the day, knowing that your students learned, that they had fun, that they made mistakes and recovered. Um, that's just what our days should be filled with. So keep that in mind. All right, the last thing that we're going to cover is American Education Week is coming up November 18th through the 22nd. This week last year we had community members come in, and I don't believe it was very well attended. So we're trying something different district wide. This is a draft, just a tentative draft of a flyer that we are thinking of sending out. We selected the dates, the 19th, the 21st, and 22nd, where grade levels would divide among those 3 days and invite families to come in and see what you do every day. Nothing special needs to be planned. You just a showcase of learning, a celebration of learning is what we're looking for. I would do a welcome message to all the families in the cafeteria, letting them know what to expect, welcoming them to our schools, reminding them of our confidentiality um, agreement, and then they would move on to classroom visits. We will talk about this more at School Improvement, which I believe our next meeting is October 29th, and then we can talk about it again on November 5th. But I wanted to make sure you had all of this information. I appreciate the time you are taking to listen to this. Please, if you have questions, need clarification, just want to chat, let me know. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks, everyone.